My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video, and today I'm here with my WWE Extreme Rules 2017 review. And I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, I thought this pay-per-view was a little underwhelming. I didn't think it was as good as I thought it would be. I mean, there were some high moments on this show, but there were a few lows as well that didn't really make this show incredible, but it wasn't the worst show I've ever seen by far. But yeah, we'll get right into this review. Let's not muck around. We'll talk about the pre-show match. There actually was a pre-show match announced. It was Apollo Crews versus Kalisto, and Kalisto ended up winning the match, which, you know what, fine by me. I like Kalisto, and what I heard is that the match was actually pretty damn good. So yeah, may check it out down the line if I decide to, but we'll talk about the actual show first. Opening up was the Intercontinental Championship match between Dean Ambrose and The Miz, and if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, he will lose the championship, because nothing screams out Extreme Rules more than DQ victory. So yeah, let's get into that. This was pretty decent little opener. I thought it was fine. You know, anytime Miz would try to do everything in his power to get Ambrose to get himself disqualified, giving Ambrose a chair and making him smack him or whatever. Another spot where like Ambrose goes for like a power bomb in the corner, but then Miz like grabs the turnbuckle so it gets exposed, and then Ambrose tries to throw him, and then he realizes, shit, you know, the turnbuckle's exposed. So it's good that he kind of stopped himself there. And then Miz told Maurice to slap him across the face, so he does, and he tries to get Ambrose disqualified, but then Ambrose convinces the ref, you know, oh, it's Miz and Maurice, you know, they're conspiring against me. He believes him, and Maurice ends up getting ejected from the match. And while the ref is distracted with Maurice, Miz throws Ambrose into the ref and hits him, and so the ref pretty much, he's getting ready to DQ Dean Ambrose until the Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on him to win back the Intercontinental Championship. And I ended up quite enjoying this match. I thought this was fine. To me, it didn't really make sense to me personally that he was almost about to get DQ, but then Miz hits a skull-crushing finale and beats him anyway. So they could have gone for the DQ victory, but fine with me either way. I'm happy to see Miz as Intercontinental Champion again. He always does a great job with that championship, and I haven't seen Raw yet, and by the time I'm recording this, Raw has been out today, so I haven't seen any of that yet, but this was a pretty decent match. I did like how Miz tried everything in his power to get Ambrose disqualified and all that, and Ambrose doing his best not to get himself disqualified. I thought it was really good. So yeah, good little opener overall. Wasn't disappointed that much. After that, we get a Bayley promo, and poor Bayley, you know, the main roster is it's just killed her momentum, in my opinion. She goes on to say how this is your life segment, it sucked, which I think we can all agree with you on, Bayley. She makes this, you know, forced Wonder Woman reference about how she saw the movie and it inspired her and shit, and that she's willing to do whatever it takes to win back the Raw Women's title and stuff like that. So yeah. Next up, we had Noam Dar and Alicia Fox against Rich Swann and Sasha Banks. We were in Baltimore, Maryland for this pay-per-view, and Rich Swann got a good pop from the crowd since he's from Baltimore, which is always great to see. Nice to see Rich Swann get that great pop, because he's such a great talent in the Cruiserweight division, and it's also nice to see other people outside of the division kind of mixing in with the Cruiserweights. It's something we really haven't seen yet, and I hope we get to a stage where the Cruiserweights don't have to be in their own little bubble and they can go on and wrestle other people in like the main division, you know, have someone like, let's just say, Rich Swann against The Miz or whatever for the IC title. Something like that would be pretty cool, but for now we're going to have to keep them in their bubble. As for this match, didn't really care that much of it because the storyline hasn't been drawing me in. You know, Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks have just been wrestling for the hell of it, as it seems to me. But this was a fine match either way. There was a roundhouse kick to Noam Dar, which looked really good, and Sasha and Alicia were pretty much, you know, catfighting the whole time, and then Sasha hit some knees on Noam Dar outside, but Swann hits a great Phoenix Splash to get the win. This was a fine match, I will say, but the storyline going into it didn't really invest me as much as it could have. But yeah, nice to see someone win in their hometown for a change. I still don't get WWE's obsession with having people get embarrassed in their hometown. To me, just stupid. Maybe it's their way of paying your dues, but who gives a shit. Rich Swann and Sasha Banks win, all good with me. Then we get to Eli Sampson playing guitar in the ring, which I just go, okay, Eli Sampson singing his little heart out. And he pretty much, he tells everyone to, hold their applause until he finishes. And he sings very lackluster and pretty much talks about how shit Baltimore is and how he's going to be the next top guy on Raw and stuff like that. It was actually quite good, in my opinion. The little disses he was throwing at Baltimore kind of remind me of, remember The Rock during this Hollywood gimmick and how he'd do the Rock concert in Sacramento? Kind of reminded me of that. So, yeah, I'd like to see Eli Sampson do more of that, honestly. If he were to do more of that kind of stuff, just like sing songs that diss the crowd or the city that he's in, it actually would make his character a lot more entertaining to watch. So, yeah, keep that stuff up, Eli. Next is for the Raw Women's Championship. It is a kendo stick on a pole match. Yippee. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Yeah, whoever has been writing this feud between these two needs to get fired, because I should not be dreading seeing an Alexa Bliss versus Bayley match. The match at Payback was quite good, in my opinion, but this, I did not like this match, personally. It was super quick. And, they didn't do anything really awesome in this. It was just pretty much them running around with a cane and trying to hit each other throughout the whole match. Alexa hit a DDT on Bayley after she got thrown into a kendo stick, like her shoulder got barged into it. And she wins in a really quick match, retains the championship. Yeah, a huge disappointment. A match like that should not be disappointing, in my opinion. It just goes to show you that, Raw in the last few weeks have just been some of the most boring, uninteresting shows I've seen in a while. I haven't watched Raw, fully in a while. I just haven't been invested. I've had no point or chance to be invested. It might be because I don't watch them live anymore and I have to go to tests throughout the day, but yeah, going back and being able to skip through all that stuff, it's screw it, I'll just watch the clips on YouTube. And just watching a full Raw, in my opinion, it's just not worth it anymore. If you're not going to make your shows entertaining, what's the fucking point of watching a whole show? And the writing for the Alexa Bliss Bayley feud has just been so lazy and stale. Bayley has just been a stale babyface, which she should not be. She should not be a stale babyface, but fucking Raw, you just had to. Because you don't know how to write babyfaces. Get some people in on your creative team that know how to write good babyfaces, because when she was in NXT, she was great. She was so easy to love, and all that. Now she just seems bland, and just all the life has been sucked out of it. Don't get me wrong, I love Bayley still, but what they're doing to her character, it just has sucked the interest out of it for me. But yeah, no, I didn't enjoy this match. Obviously, Alexa retains. Let's just fucking move on. Next match was for the Raw Tag Team titles in a steel cage match. The Hardy Boys defending against Sheamus and Cesaro. I thought this match was actually really freaking good. Except the ending, in my opinion, which I thought was really stupid. But the majority of the match was actually really good. They used the cage quite a bit, which I said in my predictions, which I was happy with. Cesaro put Matt onto Sheamus, and then hit a senton slam, which was pretty cool. And every time the Hardys would almost try to escape, Cesaro and Sheamus would just cling on to him as much as possible. Jeff ends up escaping the cage first, and Matt tries to escape, but he ends up getting hit with double Razor's Edge. And then Matt hits a Twist of Fate to Sheamus when he hits a White Noise in return from the top rope. And then Jeff freaking Hardy, dude. After he got onto the outside and had the cage door slammed in his face by Sheamus, he said, "Fuck that, I'm Jeff bloody Hardy." And he does the classic Jeff Hardy stuff where he just does these death-defying leaps. And he does a classic Whisper in the Wind off the top of the cage. Reminds me what he did to Umaga in 2008. But now he done it on the Sheamus and Cesaro. It was pretty awesome to see, I'm not going to lie. But the ending, though, not so much. It didn't make sense. So after this, Cesaro and Sheamus, they recover and they climb out of the cage. And then Matt drags Jeff out of the cage through the door, despite him already going over the cage, and loses the championships to Sheamus and Cesaro. I didn't get that. So, let me get this straight. So, Jeff already left the cage area, and then when he got back in, does that mean he's reinstated and he has to get himself out again, or does that mean Matt just has to get himself out? So, if that's the case, why didn't Matt just walk out the door anyway? I'm sure Jeff will be fine. I know he was trying to be a good brother and all that kind of stuff, but come on, Matt. Use your fucking head. Use your broken brilliance or some shit to just walk out of the door and you would have won. You would have won easily. But no, you had to carry Jeff's dead weight, and now Sheamus and Cesaro are the tag champs. It's just a stupid ending, in my opinion. Just stupid. As for Sheamus and Cesaro being Raw Tag Team Champs again, I'm fine with it. They are doing well as heels at the moment. I thought Hardys were going to retain, but guess not. I don't know what they're going to do with the Revival. Maybe they'll have a non-title feud. If that's the case, who are Sheamus and Cesaro going to face at Great Nutsacks of Fire? Are they going to face... Because they can't face the Revival. I'm not sure if they're going to face Enzo and Cass, because they could be breaking up that team soon. It's I'm sure there'll be some other team down the line, but yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro winning the titles, I don't have a problem with that. Good match, bad ending. Next is a submission match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Neville defending against Austin Aries. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really care about this match when I watched it. It just didn't interest me that much. Aries threw Neville into the barricade and did a flip into it, which is always cool to see. Aries locked in a figure four, and then Neville locked in his rings of satin, and it was just pretty much them locking in submissions, and I didn't really feel this match for some reason. I didn't really feel it. There was a sunset flip powerbomb into Last Chantry. That was cool. And the ending was really good as well. Neville hit an awesome red arrow to the back of Austin Aries, locked in the ring of satins to get the win. That I liked. That was a good ending to the match. Neville retained, so I guess Austin Aries isn't going to win the Cruiserweight title. If that's so, get him out of the Cruiserweight division. Have him wrestle the main dudes, in my opinion, because Austin Aries has so much potential to be so fucking good, but you're keeping him down in this Cruiserweight division. He's probably the only guy in that division that doesn't need to be there. I feel like he can be in an IC title feud and be fine, in my opinion. But yeah, underwhelming match with a great finish, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Then we get to the main event. Number 1 contenders match for the Universal Championship. Fatal 5-way Extreme Rules match. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, and Finn Balor all going at it. And this was a great main event. Loved it. There was an alliance with Joe and Wyatt. They grabbed the steel steps and attacked everyone with them. And they did some double team moves on a few guys, how they DDT'd Rollins on the steps. And they did sentons to Finn Balor when he had a chair on top of him. And then it pretty much all went to shit when Rollins went for a suicide dive on the outside, but Bray pushed Joe in front. And then they soon devolved, and Balor pretty much double stomped both men with a chair. And then after that, we got 2 awesome spots in a row. On the outside, Samoa Joe locks in a completed clutch on Finn Balor, And then the big dog, Roman Reigns, pretty much spears both guys through the timekeeper's area, which, seeing this Roman Reigns where he just does crazy shit like spear people through barricades and all that, I love that Roman Reigns. Bring back that, just keep that Roman Reigns, but you're not going to do that, obviously. But if that wasn't crazy enough, Seth Rollins hits a fucking frog splash on Bray Wyatt through the announce table, and it was a great frog splash as well. And then Roman and Seth have a big square off, and Roman hits some great Superman punches. Roman was really, really good in this match. I got to tip my hat to Roman. He was great in this match. There was a big sequence of finishes between a couple of guys here in the end. Roman just hit Superman punches on everyone, but Balor ends up hitting the coup de grace on Roman, and I thought, oh shit, Balor's going to win the match. But no, Samoa Joe locks in his Coquina clutch and wins. So we're going to get Brock fucking Lesnar versus Samoa fucking Joe at Set My Balls on Fire. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for that match, man. You know, it's a dream match we've been wanting for a long fucking time. You know, Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, taking on someone who could be the next beast incarnate. You know, in Samoa Joe, you know, I feel like these two are going to have a brutal, hard-hitting match, and I think it's going to be fucking fantastic, in my opinion. So, yeah, a potential match of the year candidate in that for Great Nuts of Fire. As for the other four competitors, they did a good job. I heard that Roman and Bray are going to start feuding soon, which, really? You're going to feed Wyatt to Roman again? You did that in 2015. We don't need to see it again, but oh well, it is what it is. It's fucking Raw. What do they know? But yeah, great main event to end the show overall. So yeah, great stuff from all the competitors involved. And that is about it for this show. Match tonight, as I said before, the Fatal 5-Way match. Really, really good performances from all five guys. Yes, even Roman Reigns did a good job. See, at least I can admit when Roman Reigns can do a good job at something. I'm happy to admit when Roman Reigns does a badass job. I'm not one of these radical haters that just goes, oh, Roman's the fucking worst ever, despite the fact that I did a rant on him a few months ago. But that was with my frustrations of the way he was booked and kind of still is, and the way JBL and Peter Rosenberg on Bring It to the Table were talking about him. So fuck those guys. Overall, what do I think of this pay-per-view? I'll give this show 5.5 out of 10. I didn't think it was that good, in my opinion. I mean, we got some good moments, like the Fatal 5-Way match and the ending to the Cruiserweight Championship match I thought was really good. Overall, the Steel Cage match was good. But then again, you got some stuff that, you know, you didn't really find interest in, like the Alexa Bliss Bayley match and the ending to the Steel Cage match, which didn't make any sense to me overall. So yeah, that's why it gets a 5.5 for me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? Yeah, I ripped that off Anthony Fantano. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram is at JackmanLaw31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.